Hello, it's Sweener. I'm here to tell you about the Diddy Kong Racing track meet averaging sheet. What the hell is that? um, this is a spreadsheet. This is a game that you can play with other Diddy Kong Racing runners. You can play in RTA. You can play in time trials. Whatever better suits you, both are available. And essentially what this game is doing is it's testing your all-around skill. This isn't just a single race, and whoever wins the race gets points or anything like that. This is 5 races on a single track, on any given track. That all those 5 races will be compiled into an average, and then your average will be compared against your opponents. And whoever has the better average will get more points. So how do we use this spreadsheet? How do we play this game? We do have a very simple set of instructions on the left here that says how to use this spreadsheet. And the first rule on here is the most important piece of instruction on the entire thing. All white space may be edited. This is quite literally meaning anything that is colored white, you can type into. Anything that is not colored white, please do not type into. This is a very sensitive spreadsheet. There's a lot of things that are related. There's a lot of formulas. There's a lot of different references. And as soon as you break one thing, pretty much everything breaks. So areas like this, like average and points, don't type anything in here. These will automatically calculate for you. This does all the work for you. All you got to worry about is the white space. So for example, I can go ahead and type my name in here. Cool, there's Sweener. You can see it even puts my name on each round individually. Very nice, clean and tidy. And I can also type the times that I get for any given track. But we'll get to that in just a sec. So pick one track from each world. So this can mean a couple different things. You can really do this any way you want to. We have 2 different game modes. Down here you can see it says game mode. 1 equals balloon races, 2 equals time trials. If I set this to time trials like it's set to now, we'll just call these round 1, round 2, round 3. But let's set this to RTA. Let's play some balloon races. All this information changes automatically. How nice. See, we're going to do Dino Domain, then Sherbert Island, then Snowflake Mountain, and so on and so forth. And all of our track names even populate up here too. Very nice. So let's say we're playing Ancient Lake, and we're going to type in some times. We have a required format for submitted times over here. It is 0 or 1, colon, the next 2 numbers, your decimal, the next 2 numbers, or 1 number. So just to demonstrate what that means, I've also put this here. If I got a 3650 on Ancient Lake, it would be 0 colon 36 decimal 50. Very, very straightforward, but obviously this is very easy to mess up. So if I were to type this in here, whoops, that would definitely break everything if I left that like that is. Well, nothing happens. Why didn't anything happen? Well, we can't really calculate an average off of a single time, can we? That's no good. Let's go ahead and put a second time in there, and voila, we have our second time. But that is not the average between 36 and 35. Why is it just 3550? Very simple reason for that. Your worst time out of these 5 gets dropped. So let's fill out the rest of this with just some dummy data. Whoops, that's a really long ancient. I'm a god and I got a 3350 and I got the world record. Okay. Now we have a full set of 5 Ancient Lake runs. But this worst time is not included. So it's going to take my 4 best runs out of these 5, and that's the average it's going to use. You kind of get one dummy run, one really bad run to test out on. Say you haven't played the track in a while and you want to try it out. You can also see it's going to go ahead and calculate how many points that's going to give me right away. Super, super cool. If we are, let's say we're playing against Giz, and Giz is just a god today. He's just, he's just the most consistent player of all time, and then he gets a 45. Clearly that 45 is not going to be included in his calculation, but let's compare our averages here. Giz has an average of 3250. He totally dominated me. I have an average of 34 flat. I have a worse average. I'm going to be awarded less points than Giz is awarded. Very, very simple stuff. And it does all of this automatically for you. Better yet, we have one more white box to go over, and that is our number of players. This spreadsheet supports 12 players. 12 people can play this game together at the same time. Lots and lots of options, lots of things you can do here. So what's also cool about this is, let's say we're playing with 5 people. Well, look, our point values changed. The more people that you are playing with, the different the scoring works. In this case, you'd expect Giz to get 6 points and me to get 5. But the person who does the best earns the most points by far. So down the road, when you're playing this with people, you might notice that the person in first place is probably leading by an absurd number of points. This is kind of using the Mario Kart formula, where yes, first place gets 7 points, second place gets 5, third gets 4, whatever the formula might be. But this scales with the number of players. You see we went to 8 and 6, 9 and 7, 10 and 8. Whoops. If we go all the way up to 12, it's 15 and 13. So the first place person, after all of these tracks, they're going to be way, way in the ahead of everybody else. They're going to be kicking everyone's ass. So don't let this fool you. It is specifically designed to be played with multiple people. So yeah, okay. Moving on from here. Let's say Giz and Sweener did not play Ancient Lake. Let's talk about the time trials mode. This is the most used one. I think we've done balloon races like one time, but time trials is really cool because we have every single time trial to pick from. We can play every single time trial this way. Well, how do we do that? You might have noticed this enter random numbers prompt at the top here, and then these like R1 with these gray boxes. This is a randomizer. Over here in the corner, we have a little number. It says randomized track. What the heck is that? This is a random number, and this is going to generate a random number between 1 and 47. Each number corresponds to a different time trial. Crescent Island car, Crescent Island hover, whatever it might be. You can play any vehicle you want this way. And if I hit Control R, this doesn't work for everybody. You can see it's going to keep generating new numbers for me. So let's say you get some people together to play some time trials, and you're like, okay, we want to play random time trial. Let's grab this random number, and let's put that in up here. And I apologize. This is the only area where this isn't white space, but you are allowed to type in up here as well. So I apologize for not mentioning that. But 38 is going to be Space Dust Alley hover, and you can see I have some errors in here that I need to fix. And this is very common. There's a lot of problems sometimes with this sheet, but overall, I'm working to kind of fix it up again so that we can use it for TR64 stuff. Anyway, if I keep typing numbers in here, you will see these will all update to their corresponding tracks. I did 24, which is Snowball Valley car. 22 is Walrus Cove car. 23 is Walrus Cove hover. So you can get a random assortment of tracks, totally different every time you play it. To demonstrate, I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Ancient Lake car, Ancient Lake hover, Ancient Lake plane, Fossil Canyon car. So it's very, very predictable. When you know almost You kind of can predict what the track is going to be when you randomize that number. And let's just see. Yeah, sure enough, these fields fixed themselves once we had numbers typed in up here. So you can randomize your time trial. Very, very fun. Really cool way to play this game with other people. And very, very simple to use overall. Now, naturally, it's going to take some practice. After a while, you will get very, very fast at typing in your times. I know last time we were doing this commonly, I got very good at it. And just make sure you are following the format correctly of the time you're supposed to be using. And everything should be totally fine. If you're wondering why the scoring is off, you probably have the wrong number of players typed in. And don't forget, play some balloon races. Balloon races is fun, and it's very handy. It's a good way to measure, for the RTA players, how well you're doing in Hundo or one of those other categories. So last but not least, we have nice little stream display, and this stream display is available at all times right here. There's multiple of them. They're duplicated. They're all referencing the same data. And this is specifically for you to capture in OBS and put up on screen. So just to give you an example of what this looks like, we have a tab down here called Old Track Meets. And this is history. These are other people playing this across time and space. The Giz played some JF Hover, Everfrost Peak, Wilmo Plains, Darkmoon Caverns. Let's just steal this data quick. I just want to show off the scoreboard and how the scoreboard works. So I'm going to paste those values in here. You can see all this data has been filled out, but it's not really comparing to anything yet. So let's grab a different set that's completely different and unrelated. It doesn't matter to me. And voila. You can see now we have a nice little scoreboard, and this scoreboard is going to automatically update as you play. So let's add Obio in here. Let's grab another random set of data from an older track meet. Oh, looks like Obio's kicking our ass today. So you can see we are awarded actually 0 points for some of these, and that's because we didn't change the number of players. If I up this to 3, there, everybody gets some kind of points. You can start to see the difference between first, second, and third place point awards as we kind of go up in numbers. Let's add one more. Let's add Trident. Go ahead and grab some more random data. Here's some Andy Panther. Toss this in here just to make sure this works properly. And then let's up this to 4. Dang, Obio's got 8 more points than me in second place now. So as you play with more people, the difference in points does go up and down a lot, but getting first place is supposed to be rewarding. So yeah. Another neat feature, this is the last thing I'll talk about. This video is longer than I wanted it to be, a lot longer, is this total time down here. This total time is calculated uniquely for each individual round. This is how we do tiebreakers. So if there is a legitimate tie between 2 people, it should work out for you who should be getting an extra point to put themselves ahead. And all the way over here at the end, you can see everyone's complete total time, everybody's. So once you're done with your track meet, once you're all finished, you can actually compare, oh my God, over 3 hours of playing DKR, we were only 8 seconds apart. That's super crazy. I will say, just as a closing note, this is a very, very fun way to play the game. It's very social, very chill, just kind of laid back. But it takes a long time. It takes a lot longer than you would think. Just doing this set, this is 30 minutes by itself, assuming you took a bathroom break or something. And you don't have to do this 4 more times. If you just want to get together and play a short track meet, just do like 1 or 2 rounds. You can fill an hour and a half with just 2 rounds really quickly. But if you did all 5, this ends up being 3 or 3.5 hours long of just playing DKR. And a lot of us do that anyway, but that is a lot of time to dedicate to this. But yeah, anyway, just something to keep in mind while you are playing the track meets with other DKR players. So part of the reason I want to make this video is I'm hoping to do some showcase runs between time trialers on DKR 64 races. So if you're at all interested in challenging an opponent or multiple opponents to the track meet, feel free to message me and we'll set something up. Anyway, thanks for watching. Sorry this is a little bit longer than planned, but yeah, have a good one.